How have you been able to be with your partner for so long? To my Redditors who are in long-lasting relationships/marriages, what has kept you in those relationships for so long? I've recently been looking at relationships around me, including the marriage of my parents and the long-term romantic relationship of my friends. I'm just curious to know how and why can one keep up with another all the time? Have you ever gotten sick of them? Is it really possible to be with someone for 20 plus years and not be concerned, worried, or bored? I personally am still relatively young, and the questions might come with some inexperience. I would love to hear anyone's thoughts on the topic and any additional information that might be enlightening. I have my own friends, my own hobbies and interests, things I do that don't involve him. He has his own friends, interests, things that he likes that I don't care about. We retained our own interests and personalities. We are whole people. We can't micromanage each other. Who you are when you meet and who you are 20 years from now are two very different people. You're going to grow and learn. It's work, communication and patience. Find a teammate. Find a teammate. This is go-op. Other than that, 2 separate blankets is my best advice. 2 separate blankets is the key to happiness. Smiley face. I always tell my friends that. I asked my mum, married to my dad almost 50 years, how they stayed married to the same people so long, and she said if you're lucky, you don't. You challenge each other to grow so you don't stay the same people, you become better evolutions of them with added gratitude to each other for helping that happen. I always thought that was a nice take on taking personal responsibility for personal growth, while supporting your spouse in theirs. Have you ever gotten sick of them? Is it really possible to be with someone for 20 plus years and not be concerned, worried, or bored? Yep, my wife and I are proof of that. I never find her boring. I have worried about her health a couple of times, but that's just life. She's still the woman I naturally gravitate towards at parties because she's the most interesting, and to me sexy, woman in the room. Got a level with you. We don't think it's the hard work some people say it is. Trick is to find someone who sees you as a person, as an equal worthy of respect, care, kindness, honesty, and attention, and that you see them that way too. Then you both act like that, every time. Obviously find someone you find attractive and interesting, but that's the easy part. I think the reason our sex life is still going strong and we can still lie in bed talking for hours, is because we have never become that person who shouted, swore, disrespected, never been that person that the other one was building up resentment towards over weeks and weeks, never become the person that didn't listen or care, never been the one who was lying or rude or unappreciative. We love each other, sure, but we still like each other. I think this is the most honest response I see here. Married almost 13 years, together 16. I do think it absolutely boils down to being respectful to each other and keeping that as your ultimate goal. It's easy to be attracted to someone you respect and admire. The most important factor is finding the right person. Find someone whose ethics and values match yours, and whose interests and especially sense of humor strongly overlap or fit together. The second most important factor is, be nice to your partner consistently. Don't call them names, don't take your feelings out on them when you're in a bad mood, don't fight dirty, assume the best of them and their motives, not the worst. Have you ever gotten sick of them? Is it really possible to be with someone for 20 plus years and not be concerned, worried, or bored? I can only speak for myself here, but my husband and I have been married for 13 years, together about 15, and thus far, concerned or worried are not feelings I've experienced when thinking about our relationship. He and I fit each other really well, in terms of ethics/values, sense of humor, etc. Bored? I mean, kind of, but not really. We can always make each other laugh. We always have good conversations, we get each other. But anyone's life can get boring, and the pandemic doesn't help, of course. I think I'm more bored with myself than with anyone around me, if that makes sense. Married 24 years here. You will be concerned, worried, and bored at some point in the relationship. What you do with that reaction is the important thing. Over years of growing together, there will be fights and resentments. There will be times when your partner genuinely wrongs you, or you wrong him/her. You have to be willing to forgive, let go of the hurt, and keep your partner the top priority. He'll give you an unpopular opinion: relationships can be bloody hard work. The flip side is, they are absolutely worth it. Nothing else you do in life will be as fulfilling, rewarding, painful and worthwhile as love. Calling my husband babe. So my husband butt dialed me and I was saying hello and I overheard some talking. I assumed he was finishing up his sentence before talking to me, which he's done before. Now I could hear a young woman say, "Babe, why are you mad at me?" Then I hear my husband but didn't focus on what he said, and then I heard laughing and then someone else started talking. So I kept saying my husband's name. Eventually he heard me and I ended up hanging up the phone. He denied it at first, then he only denied her calling him babe, and honestly I'm furious. I know what she said and I don't know how to approach this because now I'm thinking he's cheating on me, and who is this girl? What would you guys do? Quick update: I asked him and he denied it. First he sends me a picture of an old woman, a co-worker I presume, and says he was speaking with her, so I told him it couldn't be her because the women I heard sounded young. He proceeds to tell me it's a co-worker who is waitress, her name is Cindy, and that she came back there because he didn't say hi to her and she followed him, and asked why he was upset but still denying the fact that she called him babe. Also that he sent her back to go work because she had no business back there. He's a chef and her boss. I want to thank everyone for their words and support. I am happy to be able to talk to others and not feel so alone or to be gaslighted and have everything played down. Just thank you. If his first instinct was to lie to you, he's probably hiding something. You shouldn't have to interrogate your partner to get them to be honest with you about something if he's not cheating. Whether you misheard the word, which I doubt, or not, for me it would be the lies. First it was one person, now it's another. That is how you know something is wrong here. If there wasn't anything inappropriate happening, he would have told the truth once and once only and backed it up with facts. And then you would have realized you probably misheard something or jumped the gun. But when someone lies, it means something is being hidden. I'm very sorry, no one deserves this bullshit. I'm not big on telling anyone to leave their relationship, but I dated a cheating man for 3 years and always had a feeling but never concrete proof, until one day I did. And I was so fucking pissed I hadn't walked away sooner. I wish you the best, and good men don't lie. Thank you, that's how I feel right now. I'm just glad it's over. He's trickle-truthing. First it's an old woman, now it's young Cindy. I don't believe he's telling the truth, and neither do you. Don't let him gaslight you. I would presumably give him an ultimatum. He tell the truth and the full truth right now and you go to couples counseling, if you want to make it work after all this. Or you divorce. I told him this right now. I'll update on what he says. Update: he didn't give a shit. So he lied once, he's lying again. Dump his ass. I've seen your comments that he didn't give a shit and it's over. I'm really sorry it came to this. Don't let fear make you back down. No one deserves a cheater. Stay strong. Thank you. I need these words more than you know. Would it be wrong to secretly hire a cleaner? Edit: it looks like the overwhelming consensus is that honesty is the best policy. I plan to make a list of duties that need to be done, so we can go over it together and decide who does what and what can be delegated to a cleaner. I'm also doing some research on cost in my area, so I'll have answers to his questions. Thanks everyone for all your help. I've realized how deep-rooted my issue with lying to avoid confrontation is. Here's the situation. My husband likes a very clean house. He was putting in a lot of effort to keep things tidy. Dishes, decluttering, garbage, laundry, etc. But most of the cleaning, washing floors, dusting, etc. has mostly been done by me. Of course, there was plenty of overlap, until recently. The past year, I have been on maternity leave. All household duties have fallen on me, since I am home. In general, I don't do as much as he would like, so he complains. Now, I am going back to work and don't see how everything can possibly get done with all our new responsibilities. We have previously discussed a cleaner coming in once a week and he is against the idea. Both of us make plenty of money, so money isn't a problem, but my husband is very frugal. Problem is, I am the one who gets the complaints about things not being clean enough and I take it personally. So much so, that it's put a strain on our marriage. We have their own separate bank accounts as well as a joint account. Would it be awful for me to pay a cleaner, from my own money, to come in once a week and then take the credit for myself? It would make me happy, and my husband happy as long as he thought I was doing the cleaning. Or would it be better to transparent and put my foot down and say we're having a cleaner come in even though there would be resentment? This situation would be paid for by the joint account. Thoughts? If your husband isn't willing to do it himself, then he doesn't have the right to complain about the quality of the job or the way you get it done. Amen. Celebratory gesture. Lol, I agree wholeheartedly. Has been said plenty of times. Woman shrugging. You were on maternity leave because you birthed an infant, right? Just checking. If so, tell him to either sit his ass down somewhere while the cleaner comes in, or do the extra work himself. It's not like you're sitting home twiddling your thumbs. You're taking care of a fucking baby, and I assume also physically recovering at least in some capacity. His attitude, if you have plenty of money, is unacceptable. Even if you were poor, he shouldn't be an asshole about you not getting chores done. BC, you're caring for his kid. LOL, and I'd love to see how he suggests you all should handle chore division once you go back to work. Smiley face. Yeah, he definitely doesn't understand how much work it is. I'm in a place now where I'm fine getting the necessities done, laundry, dishes, cooking, etc. But the extra cleaning stuff isn't getting done to his standards. I couldn't care less. Smiley face. On top of it all, I was diagnosed with PPD, so since then he's shut his mouth about things, and it helps, but I just know he's tweaking inside. When he did mention things like, oh, this needs to be done more often, it's gross, I said go ahead, nobody is stopping you. Woman shrugging. Lol. Don't lie. Hire the cleaner and deal with the bigger issue. If it's not a problem financially, why would husband care that house is clean and wife is happy? Question mark. I don't work. I don't have a child at home anymore. We have a weekly housekeeper. Husband fully supports. We both like a clean home. There are things I am unable to physically do, and he works long hours. He could do them, but it takes time and energy that could be used elsewhere. His wants and desires, frugal, aren't more important than your wants and desires. The fact he would be happy only if he thought you were the one cleaning. No, thank you. This is very helpful. My husband and I come from two very different perspectives on this topic, unfortunately, and I truly don't understand why he'd be happier if it were me doing the cleaning. When I was much younger, I had a smallish construction company with a few vans on the road. Now I was a pretty good mechanic too, so when a van would break down, I would usually do the work, thinking why pay for what I can do? No telling how much money it cost me in the long run. Didn't really hit me until one time the builder drove a 50-mile round trip to save $4 on a 50 hash box of nails. I know you can clean your house in your off time, but now you have the new baby on top of your work schedule. Ask him if he prefers a clean house and nurtured baby over you two time, which will be sparse at best. If you can afford it, it's money well spent. Now, if he's worried about strangers going through your shit, that can be a real issue. But there are ways to mitigate that too. Thanks for sharing. It just makes sense to me because I could pay for a 5 or 6 hour clean by doing 1 hour of overtime. And he makes even more than I do, so it's trading an hour for 5 or 6, a no-brainer to me.